Look at this cabinet door right here. Greasy, dull, got that sticky film on it that collects every fingerprint, every splash, every bit of cooking smoke that ever floated through this kitchen. The owner of this house told me she'd wiped it down 3 times this week, and it still looks like this. Now, watch what happens in 60 seconds. That's what this video is about. Not a magic spray you saw on some Instagram reel, not a product with 17 ingredients you can't pronounce. I'm going to show you the exact method we've used for decades in commercial cleaning, on restaurant kitchens, on hotel lobbies, on wood floors that get more foot traffic in a day than most people's homes see in a year. And I'm going to show you why the stuff most people reach for first is the reason their wood never actually looks clean. My grandfather cleaned floors. My father cleaned floors. I've been doing this for over 20 years. I know wood, and I know what works. The problem. Here's the thing nobody talks about. Most people aren't dealing with dirty wood. They're dealing with damaged wood that also happens to be dirty. There's a difference, and it matters. When wood, whether it's a cabinet, a floor, a table, or a piece of trim, starts looking dull, streaky, or grimy, the first instinct is to clean harder, more product, more scrubbing, maybe a new mop or a microfiber cloth from a 5-pack you found on sale. But here's what's actually happening underneath all that effort. Wood surfaces in kitchens and high-traffic areas build up layers. Not just dirt, layers. You've got the original finish on top, whether that's a lacquer, a polyurethane coating, or a factory sealant. Then, on top of that, over months and years, you get a second layer that builds up from everything that floats through the air. Cooking grease, dust, cleaning product residue, skin oils from hands touching the surface, pet dander, and moisture from cooking and washing. That second layer is what makes wood look old and dull. It's not the finish failing. It's not the wood itself. It's that invisible film sitting on top of the finish. And here's the trap people fall into. They use a general-purpose cleaner on it, something like a diluted dish soap spray or one of those all-purpose sprays that says safe on most surfaces. They spray it on, wipe it around, and it looks okay for about 20 minutes. Then it dries. And because those products leave their own residue, surfactants, fragrance compounds, sometimes even wax or silicone, they add another layer on top of the existing problem. Over time, you're not cleaning the wood, you're coating it again and again with products that are designed to tackle a different kind of mess. I've walked into kitchens where the cabinet fronts were so coated in product buildup that the original color was unrecognizable. The homeowners thought the cabinets were just old and worn, stripped them out and replaced them, spent thousands of dollars. I looked at the doors they'd pulled and told them those cabinets had years of life left. The wood was fine. They'd just never been cleaned correctly. Floors are even worse. People mop wood floors weekly, sometimes twice a week, with products that aren't designed for sealed wood. The water, even in small amounts, works into micro cracks in the finish over time. The cleaning product leaves haze, and the floor starts looking cloudy, scratched, old. It's not wear and tear, it's cleaning damage. That's the problem we're solving today. The reason. Why does this happen? And why does it keep happening even when people think they're doing the right thing? There are 3 core reasons. The first is water. Water is the enemy of wood, even finished wood. Most people understand this in theory. Don't leave a wet glass on the table. Don't let the floor stay wet. But they don't apply that logic to cleaning. When you mop a wood floor with a wet mop, you're putting water into the grain, into the finish, into every tiny imperfection in the surface. Even sealed wood floors have microscopic gaps where water gets in. It might not show immediately, but over months and years, you get clouding, soft spots, finish lifting, and eventually, actual wood damage underneath. The reason commercial wood floors in hotels and end-range restaurants look so good after years of heavy use is not because they have better floors. It's because the cleaning method controls moisture obsessively. Near dry application, quick evaporation, no pooling, ever. The second reason is chemistry mismatch. Wood finishes, the clear coatings that protect the actual wood, are either water-based or oil-based, and they respond very differently to the same cleaning products. An alkaline cleaner, which is most degreasers and many all-purpose sprays, will strip oil from an oil-based finish over time. It doesn't happen in one cleaning. It happens gradually, clean by clean, until the finish loses its protective properties and the wood becomes porous. A porous wood surface grabs dirt like a sponge. Now you have a real problem. On the flip side, people who've heard "don't use alkaline cleaners on wood" sometimes swing to using furniture oils and polishes directly on their floors or cabinets. And those products, the lemon oil sprays, the orange oil wipes, they're great for unfinished wood or wood that's genuinely dried out and needs conditioning. On a sealed surface, they sit on top of the finish because the finish doesn't absorb them. They create a slick, sticky layer that attracts dust and grease like a magnet. You end up with something that looks shiny for a day and then looks worse than before within a week. The third reason is tool selection. A standard mop, even a clean one, smears more than it picks up on wood. The fibers push liquid and loosen dirt around the floor. They don't capture it. A wrong cloth on a cabinet spreads grease in a thin film over a bigger surface area instead of lifting it. And people don't think about the direction they're cleaning, working with the grain of the wood versus against it. On a cabinet door, wiping in random circles creates streaks that won't come out because the cleaning action is working against the texture of the surface. These three things, water, chemistry mismatch, and tool problems, are the reason your wood doesn't look right even after you've just cleaned it. It's not the wood, it's the method. Now, let's fix it. I'm going to walk you through the complete method. One for cabinets and wood surfaces at counter height, and one for wood floors. They share the same principles, but have different specifics because of gravity, traffic, and how the surfaces are used. What you're going to need: for cabinets and wood surfaces, white vinegar, warm water, a small amount of dish soap, and I mean a small amount, we're talking 3 drops, 2 microfiber cloths, and a spray bottle. That's it. If you have a serious grease buildup problem with kitchen cabinets, you'll also want a small amount of baking soda. For wood floors, the same diluted vinegar solution, a flat mop with a microfiber pad, not a string mop, not a sponge mop, and a second dry microfiber pad for buffing. You'll also want a bucket with a wringer because moisture control on floors is everything. The cabinet method. Start by dusting. This is a step most people skip or do carelessly, and it costs them because any dry debris sitting on the cabinet, crumbs, dust, dried splashes, turns into an abrasive paste the moment liquid hits it. Use a dry microfiber cloth and wipe down every surface top to bottom, getting into any grooves or panel edges. Don't press hard, this is just to clear the surface. Now your cleaning solution. Half a cup of white vinegar in a full spray bottle of warm water. 3 drops of dish soap. Shake it gently. The vinegar is your actual cleaning agent here. It breaks down grease and cuts through product buildup without leaving residue because it evaporates clean. The dish soap is not the primary cleaner. It's there to help lift any fat-based residue from cooking. If you use more than a few drops, you'll have streaks. This isn't a dishwashing situation. It's a surface cleaning situation. Spray your cloth, not the cabinet. This is non-negotiable. When you spray directly onto the wood surface, you're putting liquid onto the finish and letting it sit while you're reaching for the cloth while you're repositioning. Every extra second that liquid sits is a second it's working on the finish. Spray the cloth. Make it damp, not dripping. If you hold it up and water runs off, wring it out. You want damp. Wipe with the grain. Look at the cabinet door. If it's a flat panel, you'll see the direction the wood pattern runs. Go with that direction. Long, consistent strokes overlapping slightly. Don't scrub in circles. Don't go back and forth repeatedly over the same spot with a dirty cloth. Work in sections. Do one panel or door at a time. When the cloth starts to look dirty, fold it to a clean section. When you've used all the clean sections, switch to your second cloth. For heavy grease, the kind that's built up around handles, near the stovetop, around areas where hands touch constantly, make a paste with baking soda and a very small amount of dish soap, about a tablespoon of baking soda with just enough soap to make it stick. Apply it with your finger to the affected area, let it sit for 2 minutes, then wipe away with the damp cloth going with the grain. Baking soda is a very mild abrasive, mild enough to not scratch finished wood if you're not pressing hard. It gives you mechanical cleaning action without the scratch risk of anything coarser. After you remove the paste, go over the area with the plain damp cloth to make sure no baking soda residue is left in the grain. After the damp cloth, immediately follow with your dry microfiber pad. Buff the surface. This removes any remaining moisture, any last traces of residue, and it brings the finish back to life by creating a light friction that makes the surface look polished. This step is the difference between a surface that looks clean and a surface that looks new. The wood floor method. Same logic, stricter moisture control. Your solution goes in a bucket, same dilution, half a cup of vinegar per gallon of warm water. No soap in the floor solution. The soap creates foam that's very hard to fully clear on a large flat surface and will dry hazy. Vinegar alone handles what floors need. Wring your mop head until it's almost dry. Press it against the side of the bucket after lifting it out. What you want is a mop head that's damp to the touch, but transfers almost no visible water to the floor. If you drag the mop across the back of your hand and you feel wetness on your skin, it's too wet. Wring more. Mop in the direction of the wood planks, not across them. Work backwards so you're mopping the section you just stepped away from. You're never walking back across a wet section. Do small sections at a time, maybe 4 or 5 feet of floor before moving the bucket. This keeps the solution on the mop fresh and prevents you from spreading dirty water back over cleaned areas. After mopping a section, follow immediately with your dry microfiber pad. You can attach this to a second flat mop head and drag it behind you as you go, or have a second person follow. The goal is 0 drying time. You're removing the moisture before it has time to do anything. On a properly wrung mop with this solution, the dry pad will barely pick up any moisture at all. That's how you know you're doing it right. For any spots that need extra attention, scuff marks, dried spills, address those individually before you mop the overall floor. A bit of the vinegar solution on a dry cloth applied directly to the spot, rubbed gently with the grain, then dried immediately. Don't try to mop over problem spots and expect the mop to clear them. Spot treat first, then mop. How often should you do this? Cabinets in an active kitchen, a full clean every 2 weeks. A quick wipe down of high-touch areas around handles near the stove once a week. Wood floors in high-traffic areas, a full mop once a week. Dry sweep or vacuum 3 to 4 times a week. The sweeping is the most important part, removing the abrasive particles like sand and grit that scratch the finish every time someone walks across them. A scratched finish loses its water resistance, which leads to all the water damage problems I described earlier. Keep the floor free of grit and you protect the finish. Protect the finish and the wood underneath stays clean and sound for years. One last thing on this method. Do not use steam mops on wood floors. I get asked about this constantly. Steam mops push heat and moisture directly into the grain and through any micro gaps in the finish. They feel efficient because they work fast and kill bacteria, but on wood, the heat causes expansion and contraction at a micro level, and the steam moisture gets where liquid can't because it penetrates in vapor form. You'll strip a finish faster with a steam mop than with a wet traditional mop. They're a great tool, just not for wood. This method, this whole approach is about understanding what the surface actually is, what it actually needs, and giving it exactly that and nothing more. No products you have to order, no special equipment, just the right chemistry, the right tools, and the right technique applied with some consistency. I've cleaned wood floors and cabinets in buildings that are 100 years old. They still look right because someone along the way knew how to clean them without damaging them. That's what you're building here, a method that doesn't just clean, it preserves. Give this a try this week. Pick one cabinet, one small section of floor. Do it exactly the way I walked you through. See what you're dealing with when you do it right. If you want to keep learning this stuff, the real methods, not the trends, hit subscribe. Every video on this channel comes from the same place. Actual experience, actual results. Drop a comment below and tell me your biggest cleaning problem in the house, the one that's been bothering you for months. I read every one of them, and those comments are where most of the video ideas on this channel come from. And if your floors are looking dull even after cleaning, the next video you want to watch is how to restore a wood floor finish without sanding. We go deep on that one, and it'll change how you look at your floors completely.